All right, another episode. Today we're going to be talking about Hollywood and Hollywood celebrities and Hollywood culture. And I'm just going to say right off the rip that I don't like celebrities as much as I used to. I grew up with Tom Cruise being cool, Will Smith being cool, and I can see I can see the racket for what Hollywood is. So let's get into it. All right, so what's up, man? How you doing? You ready to talk about some celebrities?
Good, yes.
All right. Just a short little. Do you like celebrity culture as much as you used to? Yes or no?
So as much as I used to, no. I think the rose-colored glasses have cracked. To be kind.
Okay, so let's get into that. All right, so I had this idea for this video for a while. It just so happened that the Oscars were last night, so serendipity, one might say.
Hey, there you go.
Are you ready?
Kendrick Lamar to come out and call Drake a pedophile.
Weird with Hollywood and that word. I'm not going to say that word. You could say that word for me. I'd say it. I do say it, but why should I keep saying it?
There are a lot of pretty disturbing accusations out there.
You know they did dirty? What's his name? Not Corey Haim. Corey Feldman has been saying this for so long. And people are like, he's just a drug addict. And you know who Corey Feldman is?
Oh, yeah.
He was friends with Michael Jackson. And he said that he
Yes.
was a child actor and all this stuff about it. It's pretty obvious at this point, you know? That's horrible.
I know, right?
The 97th Academy Awards had some jaw-dropping gems.
They picked Conan on purpose because I like Conan O'Brien. Even after all this woke stuff, I still like Conan O'Brien. He's a true, he's a good one.
I like him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do like him. He's funny. I think he's amusing. I like his skits and his
Jimmy
trips
Kimmel
and
is
stuff.
a piece of trash. He's a piece of shit. I think he's just an absolute, he's garbage. I can't stand Jimmy Kimmel. His whole gimmick.
You know, I don't remember. I haven't watched him. So and I'm not trying to be cagey. I literally have not watched him in years.
He's such a puppet for all of the control that happens in California. He's such a tool to speak.
So he's kind of turned a bit, I guess.
Bro,
unless he was always that way.
He's the guy that used to be on the Man Show, and now he's like the big. I can't stand him. I can't stand
the
that
Man
dude.
Show.
And then Jimmy Fallon is just a clown who's the same way, and they're all bought and paid for. These people in Hollywood.
You know, it's sad because I always felt like, at least in the past, he's another one. I guess he's on too late. But Jimmy Fallon, I always thought, hey, he's a guy I could hang out with. He seems like a funny guy.
He's cool.
I guess.
Ish.
I guess, is that not true?
I mean, he's fine. He's not as bad as Jimmy Kimmel, but like they're all kind of pushing the same speak.
Yeah, it seems that way for sure. Yeah, I
hear you.
From what I've heard.
That's why I like podcasts like this and like Rogan, and I started one because I like this form of communication. It's a real conversation where people can express themselves and allow themselves to say a word incorrectly and get back on topic. And I just feel like the stuff that comes out of Hollywood is the most written. I mean, they're actors. They play pretend, so obviously they can fake things. Come on, guys. Let's be real. You know. But I do like Conan O'Brien. I think he's legit.
Well said.
Jokes, voices defying gravity, and surprising celebrity wins. Here are all the must-see moments from the 2025 Oscars. Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo opened the show with a stunning medley of...
Why is she so skinny now? What's her name? Ariana Grande?
You know, she does look a lot thinner than I remember her in the past.
Wait, she used to be cute.
In that photo especially. Yes, I agree. I always thought she was very cute, pretty.
Well, guess what? She's not in her 20s anymore. A lot of these celebrities are aging rapidly. They really are. Like the ones we came up with, they're all in their, what are they, 40s now or something like that?
Yeah, I think so.
And she's like 30-something now, so she's not a kid anymore, you know? And she dropped
Still
that.
Pretty. Still very cute.
She could sing.
She does look a lot thinner.
She has like an incredible voice.
Songs honoring the land of Oz,
sing.
including their wicked duet Defying Gravity, and Cynthia blew everyone away with her show-stopping ending.
No, we're not doing music.
Oh, wow.
All right. So there they are. They're in Wicked. I have no interest. I have really no interest in anything that Hollywood does anymore.
Oh, Wicked. I have seen that on, like, not on Broadway, but here in the city, I've seen a production of Wicked.
Oh, you saw it.
Pink member Lisa, Doja Cat,
Yeah.
and Ray also belted it out to the back row during a tribute to the James Bond franchise.
Live and let die.
Yeah, they're full of music, these people. All right, let's go. So yeah, I get it.
Oh, I like that background.
I like production. I like creative pursuits. But like Hollywood anymore, they just don't. They're not entertained. Like they are entertainers, but they should stop talking so much. They should just entertain instead of just say things that we as most Americans find very annoying. Like what's up with everything's transgender or it's all the weird stuff, right? It is all the 1%, the weird of the weird. Anyway, what do you think?
I find it they pontificate. Like it's
yes.
one thing. Okay, everyone has an opinion,
word.
And of course we're all, equally entitled to that opinion. Now, whether that opinion is as good as the next opinion is another issue. But all the pontificating and forcing whatever opinion it is down the throats of other people, and it's too much. Be entertaining.
Yeah.
Like, there are some actors who I very much enjoy. I enjoy their work, but their opinions are like.
Well, did you see what they did with Harrison Ford?
They do the expert,
Did you see what Harrison Ford? All these celebrities who were cutting promos for Kamala Harris, like she's the future and this. That's fine. Support your party, but I can tell
absolutely.
you were pushed by your manager, by the company you work for, and your agency. It's pretty obvious. And then when I saw this thing that Harrison Ford cut for Kamala Harris, and I was just like, this man's old. Like he doesn't need to do that, but it was like he's up there like, it's a terrible place if you don't Kamala Harris. I'm like, dude, you're just saying that because you're told to say that. I don't think you just said that, and a lot of them do that, and I'm just like, it's not sincere, is what I don't like.
Yeah. I think you hit the nail on the head with it. When it comes off as insincere, is where people's sort of bullcrap detector starts to go off.
Yep.
And they listen to it and like, you're not. Do you really believe that? Maybe they do.
Right.
In some cases, but the BS detector is pretty strong.
Come on, they're actors who sell.
Yeah.
They're basically employees. Actors are employees for some weird reason. When I was a kid, they made you think an actor was like a one-person, cool, awesome machine, like Tom Cruise.
Right?
No, bro. They're an employee for a movie studio who has a producer, who has a writer, has a casting agent, and all of this is a soup that is created. And they put this in front of you, and you're like, this is the pinnacle of da-da-da-da. No, man, that is a highly produced product, and they happen to be people. It
is, right? They're selling an idea or an image. Mm-hmm. I get it. And there's a whole team around these people creating that, helping create and maintain that image. And I totally understand. Look, hey, this is what it means to be cool. This is what it means to be talented. This whatever it is. But I'm with you. Well,
here's the problem.
That awareness.
Here's
sort of
what
shattered my
happens. The kids grow up. The teenagers get older. And then those particular actors who exist within those decades of those people get older and become less relevant. And you see what happens. And it's kind of a really gross thing to watch. Because
it's sad, isn't it?
Hear me out. Yeah. If you're super famous, do you know what also comes with that prize? Like Gene Hackman just died. Your death isn't private. It is public and it is scrutinized. And that is not worth, in my opinion, unless you really want the fame like that. But think about Michael Jackson. That's a production, bro. And do you want to know more productions? There's more. Britney Spears is a pretty big one. Eminem's a pretty big one.
Eminem.
When he dies, that's going to be a headline for sure. They're going to tell you the toxicology report. So, like, my point is, like, you're selling yourself. You're not going to stay strong. It's just not going to happen, Yeah.
At what price that glory, so to speak, right? Yep. We thought, when I was younger, I thought, Hollywood,
me too, man.
Star.
Oh, MTV.
But the cost just seems too high. I think it's very random. I think it's addictive.
Yeah.
And when people naturally move on, certain actors and actresses lose relevance, whatever it is, that becomes a problem for them. And some of them just crack under the pressure and the high pressure of sustaining that image. It's not to mention
all the drug overdoses, all of the other they don't live long a lot of times. And before, I think the record labels were taking people out because they're just a product, right? So they would like fuel them with like alcohol and drugs. And they were talking about the 70s here and the 60s, man. They used to give them drugs.
Oh man,
Jimi Hendrix, Janis Joplin, they're all young, man, and it's like they burn them out, and it's crazy.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah, it's really sad, and it's things aren't always as they seem, right? It's one thing I've learned throughout life, and it seems glamorous and it seems glorious and it's wonderful, and they even seem so wealthy when they're in many cases not. They're quite deep in debt to keep up with the image machine.
Yeah.
So it's all just sort of a fake image in a way, and there's a tragedy associated with it to my mind.
And there's
that
real.
I'm not willing to pay. That's for sure.
There's real people behind it too, because I've been looking at celebrity culture my whole life. I grew up, with massive amounts of celebrity culture, MTV. I'm like, man, I should be on the Real World. I should be on the Real World. And like at one point in my life, I would have been happy to be on the Real World. I'd have been cool with that. And I still like the Real World, but like at one point, I would have been like. All I ever wanted. Now I see the Real World people in the challenge, like them around my age, and you see they got older, right? And you're just like, I see. It's like a whole career out of this thing, It's like, part
of the reason I was excited about moving to Philadelphia, believe it or not, was the Real World Philadelphia.
I watched that season. I know that season. It had MJ.
It's amazing what's changed in the city since that show. It's kind of crazy, but I know where it was filmed and where the house is and everything.
All right, you brought up a great example. I just want to see Philadelphia, Real World Philadelphia.
Oh, this is gonna be great.
This is the true story
of 7 strangers.
Oh my God!
Picked to live in a house,
work together, and have their lives taped.
Find out what happened. I'm over it.
I remember these. Oh my goodness!
Bro, this was like the best show ever. I was a Real World.
I remember Shavonda too.
Yeah, I was a Real World dude.
Shut up and start getting real.
He's the one I remember the most, Landon.
Landon, yep.
I walked past that house they stayed in many times, and it's.
Oh yes, me too. I know exactly where it is. I walk past it a lot. Yeah.
It's next to it, and pretty interesting. The love of my life. She has been in that house because they had a party in there or something, and she paid to get in, and it was after.
Oh, neat.
So it was like the Real World house. So she actually had drinks in there one time.
I was in there. I took the first girl I dated in the city of Philadelphia, at least. One of our dates was it was an art exhibit at one point, and they had this big modern art exhibit in there, and I took her there. She and I went there, and that was our date. It was really cool. It was like so I remember it well. I'm not sure what it is now, though.
That's interesting. The two of you have been in there. I've never been in there. I've walked past.
Yeah.
All right, here's some more Real World.
Oh yeah. Yeah, the house.
Wasn't even filmed in high definition.
I know, right?
Landon is nuts when he's drunk.
Landon causing trouble.
Landon I remember the most because he had these knives this one time, and he was being all creepy in the kitchen with these knives, and I never forgot it.
I actually remember that. Right. That's crazy. Yeah, I actually kind of remember that.
Yeah, it was one of the weird things that had happened that season.
Yeah, that was a big but standout memory.
It's starting to get really old. You're drunk. I don't want to talk to you right now.
That's right. You tell this boss, man.
You know what club they used to go to? Club Shampoo. I've been there.
I've heard of it. I've never actually been to. Wait, have I been to that? I think I have been to that one once. It's been a while though, so I can't remember.
Who knows what it is now? But
I was there. I don't think it's even there anymore.
Around the time they were there.
Yeah.
He's a pimp, man. He gets all the girls. I want the nice girl. That's what I want. So I'm gonna get her.
This guy's completely drunk. I think this is when he has the knives, to be honest, because it was such a memorable moment.
What are we doing over here?
Fine.
You want something to eat?
No, I'm cool.
Not like hard, like for real, like formal. Maybe.
I didn't think he looked as young when I watched this because I was around the same age as him. And now when I see him, I'm like, he's just
the way to find
isn't
out.
Isn't it? He looks like almost like a little boy in a way. It's hilarious. It's like, wait a minute.
I didn't think they were children when I watched it.
The fact
When
that
I watched it, they seemed so much older
do.
to me when I saw the show.
I do.
I was like, these are cool adults, man. And you come to find out
Yeah, exactly.
they're filming a drunk guy in a house in Philadelphia.
I know, right?
But, like,
I know.
anyway.
This is what made me want to move to, or I was excited to move to Philadelphia when after I saw the show.
That got you excited.
Of all things. Yeah, well, of all the shows, right? Like,
That got him excited.
crazy, man. It's crazy.
All right, so yeah, Real World was interesting. They weren't quite celebrities. They were new. That was a new kind of thing.
It was like the quote reality TV, right?
Yeah,
era.
Don't even have to act.
television.
Just be you. So
just be you. And
a lot of
let
other
the editors do the rest.
I spoke about earlier was the drugs with Hollywood. So obviously people they burn them out. Let's not act like they're all awesome superheroes.
Right,
They're real
right.
people. And when you don't see them on camera, they're usually doing weird things because they have off for a while, maybe in between a job. They go do drugs. They go hang out. Like they're hanging out. They don't go to bed early.
Worst drug addicts in Hollywood history. Robin Williams. Early in his career.
Dude, he was a massive cokehead. Massive.
Yeah, yeah. It's a shame because he was hilarious too.
Why did they're like, oh, he's amazing. He does all these voices and he has so much energy. Dude was on cocaine, bro.
Robin Williams struggled with alcoholism and cocaine addiction. Despite multiple attempts at sobriety, he remained at risk of relapse. Corey Haim.
Not to mention, he hung himself. Robin Williams.
He did. Robin Williams. Yeah, he went out.
True story. Can I tell you?
Tragically.
True story.
Sure.
True story. So I believe he hung himself in 2014. I was talking to my dad, and I get these little premonitions sometimes about celebrities. I can kind of predict what happens sometimes. No, not kidding. So I was like, Dad, I was like, blah, blah, but we're talking about actors. I said, yeah, and then, people like Robin Williams would be dead. And then I went to a hotel. I stayed in Wildwood like that weekend or whatever.
Okay.
And I said it to my dad. We talked about celebrities, and I was like, yeah, imagine if Robin Williams died. And then I went there, and on the weekend, it was like a day later, Robin Williams hung himself. And I said to my dad when I got back, I said, do you remember when I said that? He's like, yeah. I said, what was that? What was that? It was so weird. It was a day later.
So weird how that plays out sometimes.
Yeah, it was weird. 'Cause I said, and another thing I said, I told my partner, I said, what did I say? I said, yeah, who's next for COVID? I said, Tom Hanks is probably going to get COVID. And then Tom Hanks got COVID like a couple days later. And I was like, dude, I said Tom Hanks.
It's like you're calling it, man.
Because he's such a notable actor.
Yeah. And he ended up, it's like you got the crystal ball.
Because they're
there.
puppets and I can see it. And I understand.
Yeah.
And he was like a marquee, like everyday man for America. And that was planned for him to come out and say that. I think so. Wow.
Oh, right. I see what you're saying. Yeah, it would not surprise me at all.
Tom Hanks
if that was all,
wholesome, all-American guy. Like, oh no, Tom Hanks is COVID.
Yeah.
Like what if they said?
Yeah.
I don't know. Pick a different guy with COVID. It wouldn't hit like Tom Hanks, right?
That's true. It wouldn't. Like if say, and I don't mean to knock anybody here specifically, but I'll just throw out a name randomly. Let's say, I don't know, Daniel Craig or Matt Damon.
Matt
Damon.
Matt
it wouldn't, right? It wouldn't hit that. Yeah, it wouldn't be the same.
You're like, not Tom Hanks.
But Tom Hanks, it's like a whole different. It's like it's a whole different feeling to it.
The last prediction I had, and I said when COVID was happening, there was no looting going on, and I said to my partner, I said, "Where's the looting?" And then like very soon after, there was looting, and she's like, "You said it."
The protesting, the looting,
coming. People,
for one reason or another.
Humanity, if you look at history, isn't all that creative. They just keep repeating things. Sick.
Isn't it amazing? In groups, humanity is frighteningly predictable.
It's very predictable.
It's just it's uncanny. Human nature, it's just amazing.
That's why celebrities, to me, I'm a Virgo. I'm a highly observant person. I see through the gimmick, and it's gotten so bad now. Everybody kind of sees through. This selling that they have to do.
It's almost like they're not even trying, like to keep the veneer.
Yeah,
is the problem. It's one thing if you know it's a veneer, but they're trying to keep it. It's like they're not even trying to keep it anymore.
It's falling apart.
It's gone.
It's falling apart.
Yeah.
This is another kid he talked all about in Hollywood about how he was, what they did to him as a kid. I don't want to say.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, he was another one.
He struggled with drug addiction from a young age, particularly with prescription drugs, ultimately led to his death at the age of 38. Demi Lovato. She struggled with addiction and mental health issues, including a heroin overdose in 2018. Corey Monteith. He battled drug abuse, struggled with relapses despite interventions, and died in 2013.
Sometimes if you give people money, it's not good, man. Because, like, what are you going to do? You got money, so you can go out, you know?
You're right.
And going out and having money is a powerful thing, you know? That's why a lot of times conservatives are placed on people because, you know, when they're young, they're able-bodied. You can't do that. But they are destroying themselves. They are.
That common idea, like, oh, if the person has money, their problems will be solved. And it might just magnify and make them worse on its own.
It gives them purchasing power, which they also have idle time and other agreeable people. So therefore, they're going to start doing these types of behaviors.
It's true. It's a higher potential to, unfortunately, destroy themselves, and they may not have the people around them to stop that process.
Yeah, it's perpetuated.
Or the guardrails are off. Yeah.
For some reason, it's still happening that it is cool to do drugs and, you know,
sadly, that's true.
And be with multiple women and all, and that's not always historically how people behave. They were even in the 20s, they had more grace about themselves. So these people are being thrown out there and just being used and discarded, and on top of that, they discard themselves. They are still human at the end of the day. They are still vulnerable.
That is true. Yeah.
From a combination of heroin and alcohol overdose.
Heroin and alcohol. You picked that. That's a wild night right there.
Bruno Mars. Mars was arrested in 2010 for cocaine possession.
Yeah, huge cokehead. Dude's writing hits, just getting all booted up, you know?
But he later successfully stayed away from drugs.
So that was just a piece. In a way,
man.
I feel bad because now that I'm older and I understand who I am fundamentally, right, wrong, or indifferent with all my depression or anxiety I've ever went through, I understand who I am now fundamentally, so I'm no longer tricked. But there was a time in my early 20s and teens that I was easily could be manipulated.
Oh, yeah. We kind of fall for the image and think, oh, that's what I want to be. But now that I'm older and I hope a little wiser, that's really not what I want to be. In all honesty, I
like peace.
Have a much different path. I hope.
Enjoy my peace. I enjoy making this video with you. I like to be able to sit here.
Me too.
Have my peace and be able to express myself and look deeper into topics. I mean, that brings me a lot of joy. And I'm going out to the bar, and that's great every once in a while. But if you're going out every night,
right,
you're missing out.
Everyone needs to blow off steam or have that kind of vice that it might not be great for them, but in moderation.
Yeah.
Okay, but every night, overdoing anything.
Yeah.
Probably not a good idea.
And I think that's when you become an entrepreneur or a businessman and you have that money, but you don't have the fame. It's easier to do it because you're not constantly trying to reinterpret yourself. How many Madonnas have we had? We've had how many shares? How many interpretations of them have we had?
Oh, right.
Many Madonnas we've had. Many Jacksons,
True.
That's a lot. It's a lot of production. It's a lot of work.
True.
But I don't know. It's a great episode. Great topic.
I agree.
If you like the show, then click the bell. Subscribe. We talk about cool stuff. You're gonna have fun too. I mean, how many other podcasts is just doing it like this? We do what we want to do. What do you think of that? All right, buddy. And with that, we are out.